Have you ever wondered why some animals can change color? It is fascinating to watch a lizard bask in the sun and then suddenly flash a bright green color before slowly fading back to its original brown. Or have you noticed how a chameleon seems to be a different color depending on which side you look at it from? These abilities are pretty common in the animal world. So today, we go in to explore just a few of the amazing animals that can change color and find out why they do so. Many people think that chameleons are famous for their color-changing abilities, but actually only 150 out of 200 chameleon species can do this. The two most famous chameleons that can change color are the veiled chameleon and the panther chameleon. Chameleons have special cells called chromatophores in their skin. These cells contain sacs full of pigment. When the chameleon wants to change color, tiny muscles around the sacs contract or relax, making them either bigger or smaller. This alters the amount of pigment visible through the sacs, resulting in a new color. Chameleons aren't the only ones with these special color-changing cells. Most reptiles have them, along with fish, amphibians, and some birds. However, mammals don't have these cells, which is why your dog or cat can't change color like a chameleon. The cool thing about chameleons is that not only do they have 3 types of color-changing cells, but they also have a 4th type of cell that contains guanine crystals. These cells reflect light and make the chameleon's skin appear shiny. But the crystals also block some wavelengths of light while letting others through. This gives the chameleon another way to change color by controlling which wavelengths pass through their skin. This means that chameleons can have a huge array of colors, and they can even flash patterns on their body. So if you want to see a chameleon change color, you'll probably have to visit a zoo, since there aren't any in North America. However, you can always get a leopard gecko instead. Leopard geckos can't change color like chameleons, but they can still change their skin pattern, although not nearly as fast. They also have special color-changing cells, but their cells look very different than chameleons. Instead of having sacs full of pigment, their cells have stripes of different colored sacs next to each other. When the gecko wants to change color, its brain sends signals to its spinal cord and nerves. These signals tell certain muscles to move certain sections of skin up and down. As the skin moves up and down, it exposes different colored stripes, giving the gecko its unique spotted appearance. Leopard geckos can also change color to show how they feel. For example, they might turn orange or yellow when they're excited or stressed, or bluish-gray when they're calm and comfortable. Scientists think that their ability to change color might help them communicate with each other. Since leopard geckos can't change color quickly, they might use their coloration to send messages to other geckos. For instance, one study showed that male leopard geckos often turn orange or red when they're ready to mate. This lets females know that they're ready to reproduce. Since males can't really produce offspring without the help of females. On the other hand, when a female leopard gecko is ready to mate, she turns pale. This tells males that she has recently had a meal and will soon be ready to lay eggs. So maybe one day we'll learn that our pets can talk to us. We just have to figure out what language they're speaking. Okay, moving on. Cuttlefish are known for their ability to change color, and they can do it faster than any other animal we know of. In less than a second, a cuttlefish can go from being one color to another. Cuttlefish have special sacs of pigment like chameleons, but unlike chameleons, they have sacs for every color of the rainbow. Well, not exactly every color, but they have more than most color-changing animals. This gives them the ability to be almost any color they want, and also to flash multiple colors in a short period of time. Cuttlefish use these skills to camouflage themselves, communicate, and attract mates. If a cuttlefish wants to be a certain color, it sends signals from its brain to its pigment sacs. These signals tell the sacs to expand or contract. controlling how much of each color shows through. The reason cuttlefish can change color so fast is because they don't need their muscles to do the work. Their sac pigments expand and contract on their own. Scientists think this is because cuttlefish have special proteins that sense the color of light around them. These proteins send signals to the pigment sacs, telling them what color to be. For example, if there's a lot of blue light around, the cuttlefish's pigment sacs will turn slightly red. This makes it harder for predators like sharks to see them, since sharks see reds as dark. So it's hard to spot a cuttlefish when there's a lot of blue light, such as near the surface of the water. Cuttlefish also use their color-changing abilities to communicate. They can flash different colors and patterns to attract mates. And although scientists don't fully understand what all their color flashes mean, they have learned that cuttlefish can recognize each other better when they're re-flashing than when they're re-not. That's because flashing helps cuttlefish stand out against the background, making it easier to see their shape and size. This could help them tell if their potential partner is a good match. Finally, cuttlefish use their color-changing abilities to trick their prey. They often turn very dark right before they strike, which startles their prey and makes it easier for the cuttlefish to catch them. You can find cuttlefish in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, but you'll probably have to go scuba diving to see them. They live on the ocean floor and rarely come to the surface. Luckily, you won't need a tank full of salt water to see an octopus change color, since they can live in both salt and fresh water. Plus, they're sometimes sold as pets in pet stores, although it's illegal to sell them in California. The last animal we're going to talk about today is probably the best at changing color. And drumroll please, it's the octopus. Like cuttlefish, octopuses have sacs full of different colored pigments, but they have more than cuttlefish. Octopuses have at least 3 times as many colors as most other color-changing animals. Plus, they have even more ways to change color than cuttlefish. Not only can they expand and contract their pigment sacs, but they can also move them around. This gives them the ability to change not only the color of their whole body, but also the color of parts of their arms. Octopuses can change color so fast because they don't need their nervous system to control their pigments. Each pigment cell has a tiny brain of its own that controls how much color it shows. Octopuses use their color-changing abilities for lots of reasons. For example, octopuses can change color to match rocks and seaweed, which helps hide them from predators and prey. They can also use their color-changing abilities to communicate. They can flash different colors and patterns to attract mates. And oddly enough, they can even change color to mimic other animals. One study showed that captive octopuses could copy the color and pattern of nearby fish after training. Another study showed that wild octopuses can mimic poisonous animals like sea snakes. Mimicking a poisonous animal might scare off predators and keep them safe from being eaten. Of course, octopuses can't change color as fast as chameleons or cuttlefish, but they're still pretty quick. They can change color in less than a minute, which is enough time for them to hide from most predators. So if you ever see an octopus, don't forget to take a moment to appreciate just how fast it can change color. Today we learned about 4 amazing animals that can change color, but there are tons of other animals that can do it too. There's even a mammal that can change color, the chameleon. So next time you're outside, take a close look at the animals around you. You never know what you might see. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, be sure to check out this one. Next, click here to learn about a creepy animal that can change its sex.